All right, we're just getting going here. 오늘 저녁 한국어를 조금 공부하겠습니다. 같이 공부하자. So you may have seen I just posted a number of videos with just basics of reading and writing Hangul. I'm going to cover some more of those topics with you, and we're just going to see where we can go. If we've got some comments that can help drive our conversation a little bit, that'll be great too. But so let's take a look at a few things here. Basically, I want to be able to talk about how easy it is to begin to master the basics of being able to read and write in Korean, even if you haven't developed your Korean skills yet, even if you don't have a vocabulary, any kind of depth of vocabulary built yet, you can still start learning to decode and encode Korean language using the phonetic alphabet called Hangul, which has only 14 consonants and 10 vowels. Now, I say that. Keep in mind there are some diphthongs, meaning some vowels that are digraphs or trigraphs that have multiple vowels in them to make a new vowel sound. There are also some digraphs that include basically double consonants. So there's a little bit more to it, but the essentials are 14 consonants and 10 vowels. And once you've got those, the rest of it gets pretty easy. So let's run through that. I've got a number of tools that I like to use to do this. By the way, Korea has good reason to be proud of the Korean writing system of Hangul. Prior to Hangul, it was necessary to learn thousands of Chinese characters in order to be able to be literate in Korean. Korea, like so many other Asian countries, made use of Chinese characters and still does in many ways today, but it's much more limited usage now. Most reading and writing in Korean is in Hangul. So Hangul was commissioned by King Sejong in 1443 of the Common Era. And this phonetic writing system has everything grouped into small syllable groupings. And so like even here on the screen, when you see Hangul there, that is 3 letters, an H sound, an A sound, an N sound, and moving from 1, 2, 3 in kind of a little circle there, where you get like a top to bottom grouping here. And that's part of the stuff that I'm going to get into. But let's take a look at this chart, which is one way to start learning to master the Korean alphabet. This chart is a fantastic tool because it helps you practice rapidly recognizing and sounding out Korean consonant vowel combinations. It's also useful as if you take one of the PDF blanks and write on this, it's going to give you an opportunity to be able to practice your writing, remembering that like Chinese characters, all writing in Korean, stroke order is very important, and directionality of where you start and finish, where you pick up your pen or pencil, and where you put it down. Those are all very critical. So in Korean, like in writing Hanja or Chinese characters, you are moving left to right and top to bottom as you write. So we've got the 14 consonants there across the top. And then if you look below them, I've got my system for the sounds of each of those letters. And let's just stop here because I want to correct something while I'm on with you here, because I don't want to perpetuate a problem with this chart. So when you look at this chart, what I've got, notice here for this letter, and I'll just start getting ahead of myself a little bit here. I've got a 0 in there for the pronunciation, and that's because this letter, which is often referred to as the 0 consonant, acts as a placeholder, because every syllable in the when written in Korean must include at least one consonant and one vowel. Well, if you only want the vowel sound, you need a placeholder for the consonant. It's where the 0 the zero consonant comes in, this letter is called ing, and it has no sound at the beginning of a syllable. If it's placed at the end of a syllable, however, that's when it has the ng sound. Okay, so I wanted to make sure I got that into there, and I want to get that in here in this part too. And I think we just need to do some updating of the whole sheet here probably. Yep. So while I'm doing this, you can kind of see that what we've got on this chart is a grid that lets us start doing two-letter combinations, one consonant, one vowel, and practicing those. The combinations we do on this chart, most of it is gibberish. It's not like we're practicing words or anything here. Some of these do happen to form some simple words or particles, topic markers, subject markers. Let's see, no object markers. You'll see a couple of them. We'll be able to see some subject markers formed as we do these. Here you go, almost done with this. I just don't want to give you a chart that is any way wrong. So yeah, I've got this in a PDF version that you can print out and practice your handwriting with. Of course, there are a lot of great resources online. Why learn Korean from White Guy? Number one, I'm not gonna try to tell you that I am the best Korean linguist out there. I am absolutely not. But the advantage of learning from me is that, especially in your early Korean language learning, I can help you because I have a mindset of having gone through it as an English speaker learning Korean. And that helps me know where the pitfalls are. It helps me know how better to explain some concepts. My confidence in helping you on your Korean journey is in your early stages of learning, your beginning Korean levels, your reading, writing, initial grammar, and structure, and of course vocabulary. So I think we got that there now. Now let's jump back in and we'll start looking at this together. So there we go. So we've got consonants across the top. And then down the side, we've got all of our vowels and the vowel sounds. Let's get this out of the way for you. Now let's first, what we're going to do is we're going to now start combining each of these consonants with the ah vowel. By the way, if you want to run through with me here, the vowels are simply this. You can listen and repeat. Ah, ya, oh, ya, o, yo, u, you, e. By the way, I better get my my chat up here so I'm not missing something if anybody's jumping into the chat with us. There we go. I've got that going there. I'm going to get one more monitor up so that I can just keep better tabs on whether or not somebody is jumping in here online with us and having any questions or comments. There we go. All right, yeah, so please add your questions to the chat. Okay, so we're going to start combining these. Now, remember, Korean is written in syllables. The syllables are, the structure of the syllables are determined by the dominant shape of the vowel. So you'll notice in the vowels there, you've got a number of them that look vertical and a number of them that look horizontal. So vertical vowels are going to result in a side-by-side syllable arrangement. Horizontal vowels are going to result in a top to bottom syllable arrangement. So as we go across the top here with the ah vowel, which is a vertical vowel, we're going to see that you get side by side there. And our first one, so ga, ga, na, da, ra, ma, ba, sa, ah. Notice the zero consonant. So there we just get the vowel sound. And then we're getting close here. We're going to start coming up to the aspirated consonants. So I'm going to talk about those a little bit. We're not there yet. So this one is ja, ja, ja. Now I want you to put your hand in front of your mouth before you say the next one. Cha, cha. That puff of air that you feel on your hand, that is the hallmark of an aspirated consonant. I want you to notice the similarity too. Do you see how similar those two consonants look? You look at them up here at the top. You've got ja, cha, ja, cha. So the aspirated version has an extra little mark up there on the top. Then if we run all the way back, so we run all the way back here to ga, ga. Now, we go then to the aspirated version. Notice the shape of that consonant. Move all the way up here to the aspirated version, which has an extra line in it. Ka, ka. And you feel the puff of air again. Aspirated consonant. Then for the next letter that makes a T sound, its partner over here, the non-aspirated version, da, da. No puff of air. But when we come out here and we write the letter, basically when you see this one, you're seeing it written with a line on top, then a line and a three-sided box on the bottom. So that extra line on top is the mark of aspiration. So ta. And then we get to the corollary here would be ba, pa, pa, and lastly, ha. Okay, now to do the vowels. So we're going down the vowel side here. We're going to combine each of them with the kiok, or the g, k, the g sound here. So we already did ga, kya. Reminder again, many of the syllable sounds that we're making here now, they're just gibberish. They don't have any meaning. Some of them happen to mean something, but many of them don't. So we had ga, now we got kya, ko, kyo, ko, kyo, ku, kyu, k, gi. All right, so if you're one of those who has the PDF at home, you've printed it out, what you're doing is you're working on filling in this chart with the one consonant, one vowel combinations all the way around. So that, like for each line of vowels, you can now then go and practice. Ka, na, da, ra, ma, ba, sa, a, ja, cha, ka, ta, pa, ha. Ka, kya, go, kyo, ko, kyo, gu, kyu, ke, gi. Na, nya, no, nyo, no, nyo, nu, nyu, ne, ni. While it's gibberish, it's practice. It's practice in being able to rapidly decode the syllable combinations as you work across the page. you know, once it's gotten easy to go straight across with one particular vowel sound and all the consonant combinations, or straight down with one particular consonant and all the vowel combinations, well, then you can start trying to do diagonals across the chart. Start challenging yourself to be able to switch rapidly. So that's the purpose of this. Now, a few more things I want to introduce for you. Let's go back to Jaum, the 14 consonants. All right. So I'm going to pronounce each of these again with the ah sounds. We've got ga, na. Whoops. Start again. Ga, na, da, ra, ma, ba, sa, ah, ja, cha, ka, ta, pa, ha. Now for the vowels. Ten vowels. Ah, ya, o, yo, o, yo, u, you, e. All right, so there we have a lot of the basics. Now, what I want to introduce you to is I want to go a little bit deeper into the syllable groupings. So with the syllable groupings, again, we're going to look first at just 2-letter syllable groupings. So one consonant, one vowel. So with the syllable groupings, let's look at what that looks like. So you've got one consonant and one vowel. If it's side by side with a vertical vowel, a vowel that has the dominant line is vertical, you're going to read it in this order from left to right. First the consonant sound, then the vowel sound. If you've got a horizontal vowel, you're going to read top to bottom. Consonant first at the top, vowel at the bottom. So let's look at examples. So on the left here, you see all of the vertical dominant vowels. A, ya, o, yo, e. Horizontal vowels. O, yo, u, you, And then let's go ahead and combine those with the kiok, or the g sound. So if we take that ah, move it in there. Ga. Now let's move the o down there. Go. Let's try it with an nian. Na. No. Now let's try it with the digat. Ta. Do. So this is how it's working. You can see it's the moment you started to have a little bit of it explained, it's not nearly as mysterious as the writing might look to an English speaker. Having studied French in high school and Russian in junior college classes before I joined the Marine Corps and went to the language school to start learning Korean, I thought I knew something about learning languages. But I was completely stupefied when I tried getting a head start on my own, picking up some audio cassettes, some textbooks to study Korean before my classes started. I was kind of stuck on my own. I needed to get into class to really have the help to have things, to get the foundation of reading and writing, which again, learning the alphabet, learning how syllables are formed, learning some of the rules about how the pronunciations change depending on the placement within the syllable. You can do it in a matter of days. So let's keep going. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at take a look at some conversations. So in this first conversation, we're looking at a conversation between Andy and Sora. This is from Sogang Korean, Sogang Hangugo, which Sogang is a university in Seoul, and they've got a textbook series called Sogang Hangugo, Hanguk Korea, Hangugo Korean language. And this is from Junbi Ilgwa, preparation lesson number 1, Malhagi Dewa Il. Speaking, conversation 1. Title of this conversation is Pangapsumnida. Pangapsumnida equates to I'm pleased to meet you. It's a pleasure to meet you. In this conversation, we've got two participants in the conversation. Andy, in the blue and white striped shirt here, and Sora to Andy's left, to our right. So Andy and Sora. Andy begins the conversation by saying, 안녕하세요. 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 So as you're learning to read and write, notice the syllable groupings. Got that zero consonant in front here, the ah sound and the n sound at the bottom. An. Nyung. Now, there, notice that the zero consonant at the end of a syllable gets the ng sound. Nyung. An nyung. Ha se yo. Now, where you see se here, don't let this freak you out, but there's one of the first places you're seeing one of those diphthongs, the vowel combinations. It looks like an o and an e together. It makes an e sound, like kind of like an eh. Se. So we put the s sound in front of it, we get se. One note about that s letter is that in front of certain vowels, it takes on an sh sound, like in front of the e vowel. The s sound in front of it isn't c, but she. Okay, so Andy says, 안녕하세요. Andy예요. I'm Andy. 이름이 뭐예요? What is your name? Sora replies, 소라예요. Andy says, Sora 씨, 한국 사람이에요? Sora, are you Korean? Sora says, 네, 한국 사람이에요. Yes, I'm Korean. Andy says, 저는 미국 사람이에요. I am, as for me, I'm American. Sora replies, 아, 그래요? 반갑습니다. 그래요? 그래요 means, is that so? Is that so? Well, this is what I need to be using more. There we go. Yeah, so when you see 그래요, is that so? Could be a statement, could be a question. In this case, it's a question. You could say, 그래요. That's so, is so. And then the pleased to meet you. 반갑습니다. Now, in Korean syllables, when you often end up with liaison. Many of you are familiar with the idea of liaison in French, where one sound carries over into the next part of the word or into the next word. Here we have, if we were to pronounce each of these syllables in 반갑습니다 by itself, we would get ban, gap, sup, ni, da. But when we get sup, ni, sup, ni, sup, ni, sum, ni, sum, ni, sum, ni, sum, ni, sum, ni, it ends up sounding like an M because of the liaison, because the b blends in with the n, ni, sub, ni. So you get that liaison there that blends the sounds. All right, how are we doing in our chat? No questions there? Okay. All right, well, maybe that's enough for live for today. Just trying to get on here more frequently, answer questions when I can, especially trying to get on here when I'm able to catch those of you who, when it's a good time for you to catch me on a live. So I guess that's about it for today. I would hope that you can go ahead and give us a like, give me a subscribe. Every little bit helps. And if you could help share my videos, especially if you know someone who is interested in starting to study Korean or learning more about Korean, I'd love to be able to be a part of their journey, and it'd be a big help to me. So thank you, everyone.